Hey everybody, it's Vanessa, the Crafty Gemini, and I'm here in my garden. I wanted to put together this video to talk a little bit about growing potatoes, at least how we do it here. I live in zone 8B, which is north central Florida, and we tried a new method this year. We've never really had really good results with growing potatoes, and by potatoes I'm talking about the classic regular like roasting potatoes. So this year I wanted to try the Ruth Stout method, which was basically this whole area here. I've harvested this already and we'll get to that in a minute. But these are all potato plants that have been growing here. For the Ruth Stout method, we laid out just cardboard in this area right over the turf, like just the grass area. Then we covered it with hay and we let that sit for about a month. And then I believe it was January 27th this year, I went ahead and planted chunks of potatoes, and with the hay down, I just threw the chunks all over and then we just covered it with hay. And that was it. We watered, we fertilized maybe once or twice with an organic fertilizer. I planted this here. I put 22 potato chunks in, so that should yield me 22 plants. And I did that, I counted it because I want to see how many of them actually turn into fruitful plants, right? So 22 there. And then here I didn't count. I just wanted to hurry up and be done with it. But this big bed here did the same thing. It already had hay and cardboard underneath it on the ground. It's been decomposing there for about a month or so, I'd say. And so I just dropped a bunch of potatoes in here. I counted at least 24. I probably put in like 30. And then I just covered it over top with spent hay. So that's a huge potato bed. And so is that one there. We'll see what we get. And now it's end of May here in Florida. It's getting quite hot. Some of the plants are starting to die back, so that's a good indication that it's time to harvest them. But we got some rain last night and it's starting to get hotter and hotter, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pull them all and see what we get. A few days ago, I did go ahead and harvest this bed here, and just from a couple of plants, we had 8 pounds of potatoes. I planted 2 varieties. Pontiac Red or Red Pontiac, and then a Kennebec variety. So a white potato and then a red potato. So the kids are here. You guys have your cart. Go ahead and pull it around here, John, and we're going to start digging up these plants. Now, based on what came up, I know that I lost some plants to ants. We have a lot of fire ants in this area, and they will get under this hay and just tear apart the whole stem and the root of the plant. So be careful, guys, when you're digging up, okay? So we're just going to follow the stem down and follow it to where it connects, and you'll see potatoes there. Just dig around the hay from it. Look at this. I see one here already. And just pull up. You'll have white potatoes, red potatoes like this. So we're just going to continue to do that, and we'll kind of tally it up to see what we ended up with. Allie, can you put these in the cart for me, please? Yeah. Thank you. Ooh, show it to the camera. That's a good one, girl. Yep. And I can see, when I see little tiny ones like this, I know, here you can put those in, like that. I know that they were starting to grow and they could probably go a little bit more, but I mean, and this is getting to be super hot here in Florida for growing potatoes. We have sweet potatoes planted now, so let's just go ahead and get these out the ground. Grab all these, John. And separate the hay. We don't want any of them to get lost in here. Here you go. And keep digging around them too, because sometimes they kind of separate a little bit from where they were. Yeah. See, that was growing from the chunk that I planted. So I'll show you all. Oops. That was a chunk I planted in the ground and it was just starting to grow. But these have been in the ground way too long. I've got to get them out. So you can separate the hay and toss it to the side so we can make sure we get everything we need. All right, so over here we have another little bed that we planted, this strip here. That's the rotten one that I planted. When it's just an old chunk like that, that means it didn't really, it started to grow the plant, but let's see what's under it. There they are. Wow. Look at this one. And here's a little teensy one. That's how you know that we're producing, but I'll tell you what, we did not get much rain at all this spring. And in the past, I've had really unsuccessful results growing potatoes because I overwatered. So this year we went the complete opposite and I didn't water enough. So now I have a better idea for next year to get a larger harvest. You can see that's where the plant grew out of the potato chunk that I threw in the ground. Ooh, that's a gorgeous one, Allie. Yeah. Dig around them. Wow. All right, so we'll see what we get here.
Wow, look at this humongous
That's
one.
a funky
There's a
looking
whole
one.
bunch of them.
Yeah, big ones and little ones.
Grab them all out. Even those little ones we can roast. Oh, there's more I can see in there.
This one had a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like that's all of here.
Keep digging the hay. Keep digging the hay. Something more tucked away.
Yeah. Here's some more.
Yep. Swear. Anything else?
Any more? Doesn't look like it. Looks like this one was a red one.
Pull the cart closer to you, Allie.
That. Looks like there's no more in there.
Yep.
Have it back up because we're going to plant in there again. Some more over here. See what we get from these ones. Two big red ones. That looks like that's most of them. All the plants here, at least.
So I just started to dig up some potatoes. You can see we got some. All right, so I decided to start digging up some of the potatoes. I've only done this little section here, and we got a good bit, so not bad. But I got other things to do, so I will get the kids to come out here tomorrow and help me dig out the rest. All right, so this is what we ended up getting, aside from the 8 pounds that we got a couple days ago, so not bad. You can see we had some crazy looking ones. These are a little bit wet. I need to really wash these off because it rained last night and I should have probably harvested them before. But you can see the white ones did really well, these Kennebec varieties, and then the red Pontiac. And I think next year, I have the tools that I need in place to get a bigger harvest. I need to water earlier, okay? And you can see that a lot of the little ones that we had, I should have had them this size way back, probably like in March or April, so that by the time we get to the end of April, early May to harvest, I'll have nice big potatoes in this range, okay? So we're gonna try it again next year, but for me, based on how easy it was to put these into the ground and plant them, I think the Ruth Stout method definitely works for me here, so I'm gonna try it again next year with the hay. All right, so we brought all the potatoes in and I tried to weigh them all in a bigger bowl, but I couldn't because my scale only went up to 10 pounds. So I started to kind of weigh them separately. Here we ended up with about 8 pounds, minus, the weight of the bowl is 8 pounds just for potato weight here. And then we have a little bit more here and here. And so the total ends up being about 13.5 pounds. And then a few days ago, we harvested 8 pounds. So 13.5 plus 8 puts me at about 21.5 pounds for a total harvest, which is not bad for an experiment using this Ruth Stout method. We got some good sized ones, a lot of smaller ones, and that tells me that they could have gone longer, but I'm afraid that with the heat and temperature here, I did not want them to rot. So instead of dealing with that, an epic failure, right? I went ahead and harvested them a little bit younger. You can see that the skin peels off really, really easily on these new potatoes. They're still delicious. Last night we had some in a tray. We roasted them just with a little bit of avocado oil, salt, and pepper, and they were amazing. So we are definitely gonna get some really good meals out of this harvest. And now I have the tools that I need for next year to get an even better one. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've been thinking about planting potatoes, give this Ruth Stout method a go with the hay, and let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see these type of homesteading videos and what other videos you'd like to see me make for you. So thanks again for watching, happy growing, and I will see you all in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe.